Hello, I'm Congressman Michael Grimm from the great state of New York, proudly representing Staten Island and parts of Brooklyn. After serving my country in combat with the United States Marine Corps and deep undercover with the FBI, I decided to go out on my own and start a small business. I've seen firsthand how politicians and bureaucrats can make it harder to meet a payroll and create jobs. The latest jobs report shows that President Obama's stimulus-driven policies are simply not working. The overspending, overtaxing, and overregulating coming out of Washington is creating uncertainty and holding our job creators back. Every day I hear the frustration in the voices of my neighbors and constituents who ask, where are the jobs? And this reminds me, this is not the country we grew up in. The good news is that we can, and we will get it back if we change course. That's why Speaker Boehner told President Obama we would not grant his request to increase the national debt limit unless we cut spending by a larger amount. And we wouldn't accept any tax increases which would destroy jobs. The Budget Control Act signed into law this week takes a step in the right direction. I voted for this legislation, but I have to be quite honest in telling you that it's far from perfect. The cuts and reforms do not go nearly far enough, but it's a reasonable and responsible approach which includes spending cuts larger than the debt limit hike, common sense caps on future government spending, and no tax increases. It puts us on a track to fix our fiscal problems, which will provide more confidence for employers in America, the very people we expect to reinvest in our economy and create jobs. Still, this is no time for celebration. We can celebrate when our budget is balanced, our debt is under control, and our economy is back to creating jobs again. There is a lot of work to be done. This fall, as a result of the Budget Control Act, lawmakers of both parties will be working on legislation to produce trillions of dollars in further deficit reduction through necessary spending cuts. While that work is being done, the House and Senate will also be voting on a balanced budget amendment, something Republicans insisted on as part of the Budget Control Act. There's no better way to provide certainty to the private sector and control spending over the long haul than through a balanced budget amendment. To help lift our crushing burden once and for all, both parties should come together this fall and send a balanced budget amendment to the states. We were right to hold the president accountable on the debt limit because he's already back to proposing more stimulus spending, higher taxes, and even more regulations. Doubling down on the same failed policies is not the answer. Republicans are focused on implementing a strong roadmap for job creation that reduces burdensome regulations, calls for a simpler and fairer tax code, and expands American energy production. These are the kinds of common sense solutions that would get government out of the way and give our job creators the certainty they need to invest, plan, and create jobs. Many of these proposals have already passed the House and are waiting on action from the Democratic-led Senate. You can review all of the details of our plan at jobs.gop.gov. Listen, we know we have all the tools and resources we need to grow our economy and rebuild this great nation. The relentless work ethic of the American workforce, innovation, and the entrepreneurial spirit and courage to succeed. So my questions for Washington are this: how many more jobs reports will it take before we change course? What will it take for all of us to just say enough? For the sake of our economy, I'm urging the president to wake up to reality, abandon his failed policies, and join Republicans in the hard work needed to turn our country around and create jobs. Calling on both parties to come together and send a balanced budget amendment to the states would be a good start. We need less politics and more common sense if we're going to save our country from financial ruin and restore a thriving economy for our children and grandchildren. Thank you. God bless America.